talking to Dexter Vines, and Dexter Vines is a comic artist. And he's here at the Comic Place to the convention. But we are interested in knowing how Dexter got into this business.
All right, how I got into business is I first started coming to places like comic book conventions and talking to artists, and I found out there was a group of artists who lived in Atlanta, where I'm from, called Gaijin Studios. And I talked to one of their founding members, Brian Stelfreeze, and just started talking to him and asking him questions. You know, how do I get into comics, and who do I talk to, what do I need to do? And Brian just kind of, put me on the path. Do this, do that, and we stayed in contact. And luckily, since he was local, I could go and visit him from time to time, and that's how it all started. Yeah, that was the first. That was the first guy. I mean, there was guys since then that also helped, but Brian was like the first guy.
And how long have you been in this business?
I've been. This summer will be 16 years.
Oh, that's a very long time.
Yeah.
And I see some of your work here, which is just really great.
Thank you.
How long does it take you to do this?
The average comic book page takes me about a day, and my average work day is 12 to 14 hours, generally.
And what makes that adrenaline overflows?
It's just something.
When you get out of the bed and this is the beginning of my day, that adrenaline starts overflowing, or it waits for a while.
It's generally going when I get up. I mean, I've loved art my whole life, so the fact that I can get up and that's my job. Where a lot of people, they go to jobs they hate. I can definitely say I go to a job I love. I mean, it has its days, like any job will, but 9 out of 10 times I get up, and I'm definitely looking forward to the day.
Okay, let's put on those two hats that you wear. One is a business hat.
Definitely.
And one is an artist hat. Now tell us the difference between the two. And do they really go in together?
Definitely. I mean, the business side is, you want to get this is a small industry, so you want to get a reputation as a guy who meets his deadlines, who's prompt, who's always easy to get in communication with. Because a lot of artists are, big thing in this industry, when guys get behind, guys tend to hide. Guys don't answer emails, they don't answer phones. I went through that phase. I think most artists do, because you don't realize growing up, this is something you do for fun. But at some point, it becomes something you do to pay your bills, to pay your mortgage. So you kind of have to, realize that at some point. So now I approach it. I tell editors, they give me a deadline. If I can't make it, I'll let them know up front. I can't make it, or I'll say, this is what I can do. And if they agree on that, then we can move forward. And if we can't, I'll let them know. And that gives them time to find somebody else who can. And that way your name stays good with those guys. They know, give them heads up. Even if you have a deadline established and something comes up and I can't make it, I'm sure to call and say, hey, this is what happened. I'm going to be, a day late maybe. Was that work for you guys? The downside is just, it's a very tedious job. It takes a lot of, like I say, my average work day is 12 to 14 hours a day. And I generally work 7 days a week. No, I don't have a family. So no. Like I said, definitely, you have to love this job. It's definitely not just. I mean, the one great thing is you make your hours. In the end, as long as you make the deadline, whatever you do is up to you.
Do you have a favorite of all of your drawings?
The favorite thing I probably worked on is the Wolverine Old Man Logan from Marvel. Came out a couple of years ago. It's probably my favorite project I've worked on.
Now, when you go back and make a comparison over what you did in your early years and what you're doing now currently, do you see a big difference?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I cringe at that old stuff. It's like, oh, my God. I can't believe I got into comics doing that.
So that one thing that you haven't done yet that you would like to do as far as your career is concerned?
There's a couple of things. I want to do my own, create my own comic at some point. And right now, since I'm mainly known as an inker, I'm putting together a book on inking. So I'm right now just compiling information to put in the book, which and then I'm hoping to put it out by the end of the year.
Mr. Vines, Dexter Vines. We appreciate talking to you.
Thank you.
I hope you have a very good career.
Really, thank you.